My name is Narasimha. I am working as assistant professor in AIML department, MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. Today, let us have a glance on introduction to natural language processing. Before getting into the slides, let us see what all things we get from this session. The first outcome is the understanding of what natural language processing is and how it is significant for our modern technology. Next, again we can throw some light on what are the challenges, and the challenges name would be lexical ambiguities, some kind of ambiguities, to have a balanced view of the field, to have a balanced view in the sense to know that natural language processing is not a easy task when it comes to process a natural language. Next, to understand the different models in natural language processing, and let us have some glance on how the natural language processing systems were evolved. The first one was in between 1950s and 1960s, which was proposed by the scientist called Turing. What he did, he gave us some rule based approaches. What is a rule based approach? Suppose when we write any sentence in English, it would be like subject plus verb plus object. If I am into some machine translation, what he says, if I do it in some South Indian languages, it would be subject plus object plus verb. This is one rule. These kind of rule based systems were proposed. Later, in 1990s to 2000s, the shift occurred towards the statistical method. Why statistical methods? For certain sentences, I may not be able to translate, or I may not be able to find the right answer with these rule based systems. So, I upgraded myself to the statistical methods. What are the statistical methods? Suppose if I am having a data set or any corpus. Corpus is a data set in natural language processing. Corpus is a thing which is having a collection of texts, might be in the natural language. It might be some articles published in newspapers or any research papers, such kind of things. So, these text would be taken, and with those texts, what I do, I calculate the standard deviation and variance. Why standard deviation and variance? Standard deviation and variance gives me the deviation of the text, that is for certain examples how the words or how the formulation of the sentence is done. And next, after 2000 and from 2010 to till date, that is till today, we are using neural network, recurrent neural networks to be precise. Why these came up means that with the advancements in our machine learning algorithms, by those machine learning algorithms, we created neural networks. Next, coming to what is NLP. NLP, it stands for natural language processing, obvious. What is natural language processing? It is a branch of artificial intelligence. What does it mean? It is a branch of artificial intelligence. It means that the system has the intelligence as a human have it. And next, concerned with enabling computers to understand, interpret and generate human language. It understands, that is the system understands what I speak. It can interpret, that is take out the what we call useful insights, let us say insights. It can understand, it can have insights on what I speak, and even it can generate. Suppose today we are seeing many chatbots, generative artificial intelligence machines. So, these all are having some sort of natural language processing in them. It even generates the language which is human readable or human understandable in a way that is meaningful and useful. Before, like, to have any sort of system or to create any technology, the basic purpose is to make our lives better. So, it should be useful and even meaningful. Why meaningful? If it generates anything which is having no meaning, that suppose if it is generating a natural language which is having no meaning, then it is a waste of time. So, it should generate meaningful sentences and the sentences which are useful. Next, it also states that the ultimate goal is to make computers interact with humans in natural language. Suppose if I tell system that hey good morning, it should repeat me hey good morning, how are you, in such kind of thing. The conversation also should be in the natural language. We need to understand how NLP happens, how natural language processing happens. Natural language processing works through a combination of, here we mention it as combination of. Why combination of? Like if I am having today neural networks or machine learning algorithms, on which have I built these machine learning algorithms? I have built them on statistical modelings, like statistical models which I had, or which I had knowledge of statistical modeling before. And how did I build these statistical modelings? These statistical modelings, they were built on linguistic rules which were proposed in the earlier stages. So natural language processing today, it is happening as a combination of linguistic rules, statistical modelings, and even machine learning algorithms. And we can see various applications in text processing and sentiment analysis. What is text processing? Text processing in the sense, if I want to summarize, I am having different AI techniques, like AI tools. Suppose if it is a Quillbot is one of the what I call AI tool which is available online, which summarizes the text which I give, and even it gives out the synonyms of the words which I give. And next one is sentiment analysis. Where is this sentiment analysis used? Sentiment analysis is used by Amazon reviews. Suppose if a person gives any review on certain product, it should be a thing where the system understands whether the review given is a positive review or negative review. Why this? I can just even have a database containing positive words and negative words and categorize them. Why this doesn't happen is, suppose if the person has written sarcastic reviews, then the system should understand the sentiment behind it. So for that reason, we use sentiment analysis in a review system analysis. Coming to the challenges, suppose I told earlier that I am having sentiment analysis systems where I analyze the reviews given by the customers on certain product. There, if I am having any word as bat, suppose this is example, this should be understood as a cricket bat, or it might be understood as a mammal bat. So these kind of ambiguities where a single word is having two different meanings. So these kind of words we call them as the ambiguities arisen by these kind of words, we call them as lexical ambiguity. Here the other word is bank. Suppose the bank is having two kind of meanings. One is finance bank, financial transaction building, and another one would be a place beside a water body, that is a river bank. And even the other example is cricket. This cricket, it is the game, one is the sport which the people play, and the other one understanding or other interpretation of this word would be a insect. Insect is also has, like cricket is also a insect. Next, coming to syntactic and referential ambiguities. Syntactic ambiguities and referential ambiguities are arisen or when I am having certain word which is a noun in one interpretation and which is a verb in another interpretation. In the same sentence, I am having one word which is a noun which can be interpreted as a noun, and that word itself can be interpreted as a verb. Suppose in this sentence, time flies like an arrow. The word time, if I interpret this as noun, what happens? If it is a noun, then I need to understand this sentence as time flies off, like time goes as fast as an arrow goes. That is one interpretation. And if I take the same word time as verb, if I interpret it as verb, then the understanding of this sentence is that time, that is calculate the time of a flight of an arrow as I calculate the flight of a flies. This is actually a proverb. It happens like this way. If I am having any word like this, then it would cause syntactic ambiguity. And next one example is the chicken is ready to eat. Whether the chicken is ready or I will be able to eat chicken. That is, one understanding is like whether I will eat chicken, that is the chicken is edible now, or the other interpretation is the chicken itself is ready to eat, the chicken will eat other things. So these kind of interpretations, so two interpretations can happen with this sentence. So these kind of ambiguities may arise in natural language. These are called as referential ambiguities. And coming to real life applications, as discussed earlier, this Quillbot, it does text summarization. This is done. Like next one is Google Translate. Google Translate, what it does, if I give any word or any sentence and I ask the Google to translate it, it does for me. So how this is the major application which was focused in natural language processing, machine translation, not the Google Translate, machine translation. Google Translate is one of the example or one of the real life example where I can see machine translation. Machine translation in the sense, machine itself will translate one natural language to other natural language. That is one of the application. And next one is named entity recognition. What does this named entity recognition mean? Named entity recognition is, suppose if I am having a word bat, coming again to the example as bat. If I am having this word as bat and I want it as noun, if I ask the system that find the word bat which is tagged as noun, and noun in the sense it might be even mammal bat or cricket bat, both, but it is tagged as noun. If I want this, I can ask this Explosion AI. Explosion AI is a tool, online tool, which helps us finding the named entity. So if I ask the system to find the word bat which is tagged as noun, it would give it out for me. If I tell it bat name tagged as noun and I want its meaning to be cricket bat only, even it does it for me. That is named entity recognition. So this Quillbot, Google Translate and Explosion AI are the example of these three applications, and which we can find them around us. So this completes our session today. Let's see how these all things happen in our next session. Thank you.